Hello, I'm Todd Phillips, the editor of Canadian Auto Dealer. We're here today with Susan Gubasta, the owner of Mississauga Toyota and dealer principal. So, Susan, I guess extraordinary times. We've been trying to connect with dealers across the country to get a sense of how they're managing during the shutdown and beyond. So, I guess you're in your dealership right now. Tell us a bit about what's going on there in Mississauga Toyota today.
Hi, Todd. Thanks for reaching out. So it's actually very quiet today. We are closed. We are connecting with all of our customers through the internet, obviously. They're calling, they're emailing us. We are here for emergency services, but it's been quiet. A lot of people are waiting until we open our doors again. So I just like to come in here and see what's going on every day, make sure everything's okay. It's a little eerie being in here all by myself. We have 90 employees, so it's quite quiet, but I guess I should enjoy my peace in the moment. Looking forward to getting ramped back up though, and making changes while we're closed in terms of how we're going to be servicing our guests moving forward, and the logistics of the physical presence of the building. We had the management team here yesterday and moved things around to respect physical distancing once we open our doors again for business.
Well, it's an interesting point. A lot of dealers are adapting. If they're in some state, the hybrid, some are fully open, some partially open, some only. So it's really a mixed picture across the country. But all of them are going to have to adapt during this and beyond to the sort of new protocol, new sensitivities, I would say, amongst the consumers who are maybe going to be less apt to do things the way they did it before. So it's interesting that already you're adjusting your physical space, and I'm sure you're going to have protocols in place as well, just for things like vehicle sanitizing, for test drives, that kind of stuff. So are you starting to kind of get that in mind? It's, we will be open on the far side of this. How do we do things differently?
Yes, we hopefully will be open sooner than later in the next 10 to 12 days. We have redone all of our processes in terms of how we will be servicing our guests, and minimizing the amount of actual contact we have with them, so we can have them drop the vehicles off outside and arrange for rides for them, and everything will be by appointment. And one of the things that we have decided to say to guests is, regardless of your service, we either need your car for half a day or for a whole day, because we don't want people waiting in the customer lounge. While we were still open, there was a lot of sensitivity around, well, I don't want to be sitting beside anybody, and we would have people actually standing outside. So we just have to figure that out. We've figured out the full process now for buying vehicles online, and even if guests are still coming in, what does that look like, and sanitizing. And every time a customer goes in and out of a car, we have to re-sanitize, and we're actually going to label the cars to say this vehicle has been sanitized, and it's locked until the next guest wants to take a look at it. So it's just walking through those steps and strategizing in terms of what are the best ways to handle not only the safety of our employees, but the safety of all the guests that come through the dealership also.
That's great. This is exactly the kind of thing we're trying to pass along and find different dealers sharing different ideas. And I think it's been extraordinary during this. There's been a real openness of sharing ideas to help figure it out, because it's uncharted territory. I interviewed Michael Cirillo earlier this week, the author of the Dealer Playbook, and I said, there's no dealer playbook for anything like this. This is all sort of game time decisions, and no one really foresaw the extent of this. So it's good to see that that's the ideas that other dealers are getting. We'll continue to try to share, and I know the CADA is doing a lot of that as well, and the TADA. One question I had for you is maintaining the connection to your team during this. I mean, it's tough. You've built this family there, and I've been in your dealership and met your team. Very engaged group. You've got 90 people now whose lives are all completely disrupted. How do you keep them kind of connected during this, to keep, as you say, the hope up, that the sign in behind you, keep calm and carry on, that there'll be life on the far side of this? So.
Great question. What we do with our team is we have one central email that we send out, different fun emails, different things we're doing. I've done some crazy stuff with my family at home and shared those videos to keep things light, and do sort of like little TikTok things. Just communicating to them and saying, if you guys need anything, they all have my cell phone number. They can call me at any time in case they have any questions or concerns. We are very blessed because we have a very close team. Everybody has been so supportive. And, when all this started to happen, I just want to give a quick shout out to them, whether they see this or not, but just to say that, human beings are very resilient, and they really start to open up in times of challenge. our team was, whatever we need to do. If you need to lay me off, great. But if you don't, I want to stay and I want to help, because we all want to make sure that there's a business for all of us to come back to. And they're just, some of them call me, hey boss, and they go, we'll do whatever it takes. Like, just let us know. And some of them are like, well, can I work even while we're closed? And I'm like, yep, you can work from home. And so it's just so nice to see everybody come together and collaborate. So we're just staying in constant contact. I'm doing Zoom meetings with my management team. So we're trying to have some fun throughout this very heavy time.
Well, it's great to hear. That's exactly what's going to be needed. And we talked a little bit earlier, mentioned about a message of hope, because there will be life on the far side of this. Everyone's going to go through their ups and downs, and everyone's financial situation is different. I know it's going to be tough for a lot of people. But what would you say in terms of message of hope, in terms of what you're seeing about the industry coming together? One thing I guess we've witnessed a lot of is the supplier communities come together. Emails from them, new alerts from them about discounts they're giving to dealers. We're trying to organize that on the Canadian Auto Dealer page. So, whether it's waiving fees or pushing back or giving discounts, they're recognizing that dealers are really affected by this. So that's one sign of the industry come together. But what message of hope do you have out there for your fellow dealers?
The message of hope is, what I have seen is that this is making us stronger, and this is bringing us closer together. And we're all in this together, and we're all working on that same page. And whether it's from the dealers, as you said, to the vendors, some of them have been phenomenal in terms of helping us out and discounting or deferring. And then along with our associations, the TADA and the CADA, they have been working tirelessly to help us manage through the different levels and layers of situations that as dealers we are confronted with, whether that's, liquidity, that's employees, and that's recovery. And what does that look like? And they have been a sounding board and a partner in helping us figure out what it is that we need to do. And so the message of hope is that it's not that I hope we will be stronger. We have become stronger as one. And I think it's fabulous. So from bad things, good things happen. And as you said before, the sign that I've had in my office for years, keep calm and just carry on. And that's what we have to do. And we'll figure this out. We have no choice. We have to. And in this car business, I've been doing it a long time. We are resilient, and we're here to help each other.
Well, I love interacting and supporting car dealers in our industry. You, others, I meet with a resilient, entrepreneurial, innovative, and always optimistic that we can get through it. And I think collectively the industry can. One thing that just dawns on me, the last time I saw you probably was at the auto show in Toronto, just on a high of a spectacular show, and to think that this all happened that quickly, it must be kind of just overwhelming in some ways to think of from the highs to where we are today, just in such a short period of time.
It's amazing how things can change, and it can change in an instant. And that instant was a week. The show dodged this wave that was coming by a week. And so, yeah, we had a great show. We were blessed and lucky and successful in that sense. But now we need to just settle in and work our way back up and work from the ground up. And that's business. We have our highs and lows, and especially this industry, we all know the highs and lows throughout all the years, and we're so affected. But our whole world is in this together. Mm-hmm. So we'll come out of it, and we'll make the best of it, and we'll figure it out. And it's one day at a time, and it's bringing people back, and it's relying on each other.
Well, one last question I have for you, because I know you do a lot of work with a lot of young people. You've mentored young people in the industry, you're recruiting more women into the industry. A lot of people in that generation haven't seen economic upheavals, they haven't seen recession, so it's just been, a sort of maybe a different picture. And none of us have seen anything quite like this. But nonetheless, do you find it's going to be important to them, sort of to season them in terms of their career, to recognize that there are economic shocks in all industries? And, it's just something that dawns on me, that the younger generations haven't seen anything quite like this, and they're going to need help understanding it and piecing it together too.
Yeah, I've seen some of the millennials that work for us. They're scared, and rightly so. Again, yes, that's right. This is their first experience, and this is bigger than any of us, I think, have been through. But you just have to talk them through it. And we as the leaders need to stay calm and rationalize that, the hard times are what makes us stronger. And so it's just holding their hands, figuratively speaking, and walking them through a process, and sharing as much information as we can, because that's the whole thing. I mean, information is changing on a dime every hour of every day. So just keeping them in the loop and keeping them informed. And I think that will give them some sense of balance throughout this. And again, I just use the word, if we stay calm and collected, then they will mirror that. And they'll be, this will be studied over the years, I'm sure, as time goes on.
Well, fantastic. Thanks for sharing that with us today. I always enjoy catching up, and I hope to touch base as this continues and down the road. And as I say, it's good advice for everyone. Keep calm and carry on. So thanks for this, Susan.
Thank you, Todd. Have a great day.
Okay, thanks. Signing off.